Are you so focused on building your business that you forgot to save for your own retirement? It's very common for business owners to reinvest everything that they have into their own business, including their time, only to find that they haven't set aside enough for their own retirement in the future. Ultimately, the goal is to have the business pay for you and your family for the rest of your life in the form of royalties, payouts, sellouts, things of that nature. What other retirement guaranteed income options do we have? Let's dive into it. Without personal savings set aside specifically for retirement as business owners, one could be left with next to nothing when it comes to retirement. Some research even shows that the self-employed are less ready for retirement and will start saving for retirement later than their employed counterparts. In a recent study by Fidelity, when asked, 54% of business owners say that inflation keeps them up at night, and nearly 40% of them say they worry about employee retention and attraction. When owning a business, it's far more complex than working for a business. There's way more on your mind. Sometimes the last thing we think about is retirement savings. This is a message to employers and business owners to remember to save for yourself and not just focus on the business. They actually can go hand in hand. That being said, yet over 80% of small business owners say they need to focus more on their retirement and for their family's future. And even though most business owners tend to be more financially literate than people who are employed, 60% of business owners are not confident in their retirement savings or how to even maximize it. There are three plans that I like to look at for business owners specifically. That is the SEP IRA, the Simple IRA, and different types of life insurance. So let's break down the SEP IRA and what that can do to help a business owner. To start off, SEP is actually an acronym meaning Simplified Employee Pension. Owners of the business have to be at least 21 years old in order to have a SEP IRA, and within the past 5 years, they have to be working on their business for at least 3 of those years. Now, contributions to the SEP IRA are limited, and the limits are the lesser of 25% of your overall salary or compensation, or $69,000, whichever is lesser. So if your compensation is $200,000 a year, you would be able to put away $50,000 into that SEP IRA. If your compensation is $300,000 or more, let's say, you would be limited then to that $69,000 a year, because you would then be over the $69,000 lesser amount, because 25% of $300,000 is of course more than $69,000. Most business owners are employees under their own businesses, LLC, S Corp, however they have it designed. So most owners are actually employees on paper. And because of that, their salary or compensation is usually a little bit lower than $200,000, $300,000. It's usually like $50,000 to $100,000, which makes that 25% into the SEP IRA not quite as, shall we say, likable or preferred. And that's where the Simple IRA comes into play and where it can be a really good tool. Now with the SEP and the Simple, it's really hard to have both. You can only contribute so much total across all types of retirement accounts. So it's kind of one or the other in this scenario. At least that's how I like to look at it. I'd rather maximize one of each rather than kind of just barely putting a little bit into either one. But let's talk about the Simple IRA. A Simple IRA is for an employee and can be a 401k alternative. And like I said, as much as I have seen in my career, most business owners are actually W-2 employees to their business, qualifying them for a Simple IRA. With a Simple IRA, you can contribute $16,000 a year into it if you are under the age of 50, and then an extra $3,500 a year as of 2024. You can add if you are above the age of 50. In addition to your contributions to the Simple IRA, the business or the LLC, whatever, can contribute up to 3% of your compensation into the Simple IRA, creating two sources of contributions from the employee and from the business itself. I want to give you an example of a typical situation that I often deal with. Let's say I'm working with a business owner. They're 40 years old and they're looking to shove as much as they can away to save on taxes and to plan for their future, saving for retirement. A common number that I see is about $50,000. So let's say that 40-year-old business owner is giving themselves a salary or compensation of $50,000 a year. In the SEP IRA scenario, that would only be $12,500 a year, a little over $1,000 a month. that the business owner would be able to put into the SEP IRA. In the simple IRA position, he would be able to contribute $16,000 a year because he's under the age of 50, plus the LLC can add an additional 3%, which is $1,500 of $50,000, the compensation. So that is a total of $17,500 a year as opposed to $12,500 a year. Literally $5,000 more. Same exact salary, same exact setup, just a different type of plan. That all being said, I do want to point out one really cool thing. With the SEP IRA and the simple IRA, those contributions are tax deferred, allowing for the business owner to save taxes both with personal and business. Obviously talk with a CPA or a tax attorney to get more exact finite details about that. But good news is you save money on taxes now, maybe not so much in the future, but you save money on taxes now by having a SEP or a simple IRA in place. That all leads us to the third option that I mentioned, and that is life insurance. Because I have other videos dedicated to specifically this topic, I won't go into much details. I might add a card or a link in the description, but let's talk about it a little bit so you can get an idea. With life insurance, when structured properly, okay, you have access to capital tax-free. You're able to put money aside, and there are no limits like we talked about with the SEP or the simple. If someone wanted to do, for example, the limit for the SEP IRA is $12,500 a year, if someone wanted to do $12,500 a month into something, life insurance is one of the best tools to accommodate that. There are options for the business to get a little bit of a deduction or a write-off when it comes to the taxes or the savings now, and that is by using what we call an executive bonus plan. Again, I have another video, I have other videos talking about this exact thing. I'll let you know in the description, or I'll put a card here or here or here, so you can go see that video. But the coolest thing is with life insurance, whether you're accessing money before you retire or during retirement, you get a tax-free income for life. And all these plans, the way that I like to set them up for my owners or for the people that I'm working with, is that it is able to generate a guaranteed income so that when you do go to retire, maybe things don't quite work out like you want them to with the business, you're able to still collect some form of a guaranteed income for the rest of your life. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great. I don't have the time to figure this out. I don't have the time to set it up. It sounds expensive. What is even the best option for me? First off, these plans are extremely straightforward and very flexible to accommodate your needs, accommodate your goals, and that's what we're going to take into consideration when we sit down and talk. And when it comes to the best plan or which one's better or how can I maximize all of them, that's also, of course, one of the major things that we look at. Really depends on how old you are, how long you are into the business, when you plan on retiring per se, and what your goals are for the future. And maybe we use one of these options, maybe we use a combination of all three. Maybe there's employees in place, you have other executives, and you want to help yourself, and you have other family members part of the business. The list goes on and on. But when we sit down, I'm making all that sound really complicated, but when we sit down, it's actually really simple. Really just, what are your goals? These are the things that are going to accomplish those goals. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for following along. I really appreciate you sticking with me. And I truly hope you were able to get some knowledge today that can help you and your family and your business to thrive and to achieve your money summit. Have a great day and God bless.